this game, they're going to kick us out.
It's been over 700 days since they lost, and yet they are playing for respect.
We got to go 30-0. I mean, we ain't got no choice.
We've played everybody. We're the second winningest team in the decade. 10-1 versus the SEC. We're beating Alabama, who's been the best. We're beating them 2 out of 3 national championship games.
Competing for a 5th straight ACC title, the Clemson Tigers feel slighted by the talk, or the lack thereof.
They don't talk about all the touchdowns.
Touchdown by Trevor Lawrence. Beat the end up the middle. Touchdown.
Give me a break.
This Virginia team is checking off goals.
Beat Tech, Coastal, we got the ACC Championship Game.
And can now end the Tigers' historic streak.
We get beat, we're out.
On a championship Saturday night from the Queen City, Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Virginia representing the Coastal, Clemson out of the Atlantic. It's the ACC Championship Game. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. And welcome. With Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. LSU trying to make a point that they should be #1 in the country. And in the young history of the college football playoff, one is more important this year. You want to play 4, you definitely don't want to see Clemson in the semifinal.
Well, no, and Dabo Sweeney thinks his team should be #1. Make no mistake, there's no argument Ohio State and LSU have better wins this year than Clemson. There's no question. But I would argue Clemson is the most dangerous team coming into the college football playoff. Dabo Sweeney talked this week about selective amnesia, the media forgetting what this team has accomplished in past years. Don't forget what they did against Notre Dame and Alabama less than a year ago, 30-3. 44-16, and this team, the 2019 team, is better on offense and could be better on defense. They're not going anywhere in the championships.
Yeah, Dabo did a lot of talking this week. Oh, by the way, they've won 27 in a row. Todd McShay, are you on the Clemson train?
Listen, Clemson to me is the most unknown of the 3. There are 3 teams. Forget about the 4. There are 3 teams that belong in the top 4, if you will, this year. LSU's the most proven. Ohio State has been the most complete. When you look at Clemson, they may be great. They may be average. We just don't know. But at this point, I think we're going to find out a little bit more about them tonight. And they always get hot late in the season. They're so well coached, and it has so much to do with Dabo and the way they develop players and develop their team as the season progresses.
Usually when we talk about a team stumbling, it's about a loss. Even when Clemson, when they stumble, they still win. The 1-point win at North Carolina, and it's amazing. Since that point, Grease, they're outscoring opponents by 42 points. They're killing people.
And there's a lot of it is that they're getting better on the offensive side. Jeff Scott, Tony Elliott, their co-coordinators are finding ways to get their best players the football. T. Higgins, in this situation, lines up, and there's a corner over him, right? When you bring the motion over, now you get T. Higgins lined up on a linebacker instead of the corner. That guarantees him a free release up to the second level, and when the safety peeks to the inside route with free release and T. Higgins, this is a house call. You're getting more creative sets from this offense in the red zone. Bunch set. You put T. Higgins at the point, the spear of that bunch, it guarantees 2 things. One, you're going to get press man-to-man coverage, and the second thing is you're getting yourself as much room to the field to throw the fade as possible. These are 2 examples of creative sets that Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott are using late in the season. You're going to see more and more of this, getting your best players in the best position to win.
Did you see game day this morning? I thought something was missing. Something was missing, right?
Yeah, where was Maria?
Maria Taylor was missing. She's here with us in Charlotte tonight. Good evening.
Yeah, it's coming to hang out with you guys on Championship Saturday. Well, for Virginia, Bryce Perkins tells me that he was trying to find all of the great ways and advantages that you can gain when you're playing offense against Clemson. So what did he do? He turned to that UNC matchup, that 1-point victory that Clemson had. He said he saw a lot of opportunities for them to utilize that slight edge. He also mentioned the fact that he can't even remember how many times that he watched that game over and over again. And we all know that Bryce Perkins is going to have a really great showing, and he has to. The guy that's thrown for over 3,000 yards and rushed for nearly 687, well, he's going to have a great one if they want to win the title tonight, guys.
Yeah, don't want to say it's all on Perkins, but it's all on Perkins for the offense.
Here come the Tigers, the defending national champions.
49-degree night, clear skies, expecting a crowd of some 60,000 fans on hand here in Charlotte. You're watching the ACC Championship on ESPN as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. Hopefully no more stats from Dabo. Here's Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, your team has won 27 straight games. For the 5th straight year, you find yourself in the ACC title. How'd you describe the opportunity in front of them on Championship Saturday?
Well, it's special. I mean, these are special moments for both teams. You know, you work all year, play 48 quarters for the privilege to play these 4. So we're just honored to be here, represent our division, and hopefully play our best game.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
You got it.
Clemson has won the toss, and they chose to defer. For what it's worth, Bronco Mendenhall told us that if they had won the toss, they would have deferred. Seneca Millage is back deep for Virginia to get the ball first. No Joe Reed tonight for Virginia. That is significant. And the opening kick out of the end zone. Bryce Perkins had a monster game last week against Virginia Tech. How about 475 total yards, 3 touchdowns. But a year ago against the Hokies, he fumbled in overtime. And the memory prompted this tweet post-game on Saturday night. He said he kept the picture to the left of my screensaver for a whole year after he lost to Bob Tech. Promised to never feel like that again. The hug hit a little different this year. Virginia had lost 15 consecutive games to Virginia Tech. And they turn that around. On 1st down and 10 from the 25. Here's Perkins. He is the running game and he is the passing game. Able to complete Assis Dubois will pick up a 4 on 1st down.
And the challenge for this Virginia offense and for Bryce Perkins is to handle the emotions of last week and the stage of tonight. Bronco Mendenhall felt like the stage wouldn't be too big. The opponent may be, but he felt like his team was going to let it all hang out, nothing to lose. I think that's the right approach for this offense.
2nd down and 6. Here's Perkins under some pressure, try to escape. He can do that for you. 1st down and then some, still on his feet. And he's crashed down to the 41 by Kayvon Wallace.
And Perkins is the athlete. He's the guy that gives this team a chance against Clemson. He's got the speed, he's got the explosiveness, and he's going to have to be tough, and he's going to have to battle all night long, and he knows it.
Yeah, without Joe Reed especially, Todd, it's going to be all about Bryce Perkins.
Perkins with a great pocket, throws middle of the field, got a man. It's Dubois. Had one man to beat and couldn't shake the safety Tanner Muse. It's a gain of 44, and here come the Wahoos.
Why not let it all hang out? They get one of their best receivers, Dubois, with a double move on the safety, Tanner Muse. The same thing that Clemson does with T. Higgins in the slot, getting up on a safety. Virginia says we're going to take the same kind of shot.
All the way down the field in a hurry. At the 13 of Clemson. Again, the pocket is clean. All sorts of time. Perkins throws that into the new sod here in Charlotte.
Well, what a start. Bryce Perkins, you know, he hasn't been clean down the field on a couple of looks, but in those cases, he's run the football and got a 1st down on the first opportunity. That time, nowhere to go with the ball, and he just throws it in the dirt, incomplete, live to fight another day.
And the first time they huddle up on this opening drive. There's a flag down. It's the handoff to Wayne Talapapa. We get our first penalty of the night. Referee tonight is Riley Johnson.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
It's interesting there, deciding to take the down away from Bronco Mendenhall. bring up a 3rd and 10 here, and this Clemson defense, one of the most difficult defenses to score against in the country. They lead college football, only giving up 10 points a game. And Brent Venables on 3rd and 10, you know he's going to have something cooked up.
To snap it. Here's Perkins. End zone, back to the end zone. It is caught. They're going to say he was out of the end zone. Nolan Turner. It's an interception. Nolan Turner comes up with it for Clemson. Very close to that back line.
Just an overthrow here from Bryce Perkins on 3rd and 10. He's forcing this ball in. It goes way over the intended receiver, and Turner in great position, great awareness to have his feet inbounds, control that ball to the ground. Trying to get the ball to Terrell Chapman, and as good of decisions as Bryce Perkins had made during that drive, that was a force.
What an athletic play by Nolan Turner. So off the sudden change, Clemson to offense, and it's Trevor Lawrence to Justin Ross. Gain of 15 on 1st down.
When you have the opportunity to go in and score, and this defense time and time again for Clemson this season, this is the best turnover ratio that Dabo Sweeney has had in his time at Clemson. It's been a big part of why they're so successful.
Off the play fake, and the throw, and complete. There's T. Higgins. Gain of 10 on the play.
23-0 as a starter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just, can't be any better than that. And everybody wants to talk about, well, he threw multiple interceptions in 3 games towards the beginning part of the year, but since that Louisville game, which was kind of a turning point, he has been flawless.
Here's Lawrence going to keep it, and that's the big difference this season for Trevor Lawrence. He's got great legs, running for 20.
Tony Elliott wants to run Trevor Lawrence 6 or 8 times a game, and this was a key. Alonzo was in position there, but you see the speed, the athleticism of Trevor Lawrence. He's a more complete player this year, which is scary after watching what he did in the playoffs a year ago.
Guy's never trailed in the second half of any college game. Forget about winning them all. He's never trailed in the second half. Clean living, McShay. Out to T. Higgins. Down the sideline for the score. Touchdown, Clemson. Just like that.
The dilemma for the Virginia Cavaliers on defense is if you come up and you play tight coverage against Higgins and Ross, they're going to run by you. This time Nick Grant plays soft to make the ball be thrown underneath, but you got to come up and you got to make the tackle if you're Nick Grant. That's an easy touchdown for Higgins.
B.T. Potter on the extra point. And the Tigers draw first blood. Exactly how you'd want to start. Defer on the toss. Nolan Turner, the interception out the back of the end zone. And then it's Lawrence to T. Higgins. And in a jiffy, Clemson with 7-0 lead. Virginia about to get their second crack with the football. Got a beautiful drive going until the Perkins interception. Again, no Joe Reed. That's a rough loss for Virginia tonight, both as a receiver and a return man. Seneca Millage, about 1 yard deep out of the end zone. Millage out to the 23-yard line. It is amazing when you look at Clemson's defense. Last year with that NFL front four, they were 70th in the country in explosive plays allowed. That's 20 or more yards. And this year, they're 4th in the country. With a better back seven and clearly not as good a front four. Able to escape as Billy Kemp down the sideline. Chad Smith forced him out. gain of 15.
So Tanner Muse, to use Dabo Sweeney's terms, has played a beautiful season. But he's gotten beat once already in this game, and now he misses this tackle right there. And not a great start for Muse. He's been outstanding throughout the course of the season, and he's been a solid, dependable tackler and coverage man in the back end. But he's got to, and you see him back there, he's upset with himself. He knows he's missed 2 plays.
Uses the super senior, this year's Hunter Renfrow, if you will, in his 5th year. Here's Brennan Armstrong throwing for Bryce Perkins. Now, Grease wanted to call this the 50-cent package, but America knows it's the 50-cent package with 2 quarterbacks for Virginia.
Yeah, we were talking with Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, last night. He said we're going to have a couple of 2 quarterback packages in there. Brennan Armstrong's their backup, but he's a very talented young football player, just a redshirt freshman. And he's like, why not? You know, we're up against it from a talent standpoint. We have to have some wrinkles in order to move the ball in this game.
Armstrong is split out top of your screen. That's Perkins out of the shotgun. Looked like that just slipped out of the hands of Perkins. That'll go for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there with his receiver on the outside. Looked like Billy Kemp. He's trying to throw it to Kemp. He wants him to keep going to the sideline. Kemp comes back inside, and that's a breakdown by Kemp, because you don't roll a quarterback to one side and run a route going the opposite direction. He's supposed to keep coming to the sideline.
Armstrong is out. Perkins stays in. Standing at his own 46 in the shotgun on 3rd down and 10. Just across midfield. Blitz is picked up nicely. And the crossing pattern, it's Janet. He's got it across the middle. It's a 1st down. Nolan Turner, pretty good coverage. Nothing he can do about that 12-yard completion.
So far, the story is up front. This offensive line and backs and tight end for Virginia are picking up the pressures from Brent Venables. That was flush pickup, a nice pocket for Perkins to throw from.
See if Turner's a little banged up. Remember, he made the interception in the back of the end zone on the first Virginia possession. So he'll watch for a bit.
Remember how important these 1st downs and time of possession is for Virginia, just keeping their defense off the field.
Perkins got some pressure, able to escape out of it. We've yet to see him slide. He's brought down at about the 32 by Chad Smith for a gain of 5.
There's no sliding tonight. But he's got to protect that football. Brian, we talked about it coming into the week. He dangles it out there sometimes. You see it when you watch him, but he is so dangerous with the ball in his hands.
You see that last run for a 1st down by Perkins. Now the school's career leader for a quarterback. Why not try to run for a few more? He'll lower the shoulder, get pounded down to the 20 by Skowski and company, gain of 2.
One of the big questions coming in was how was Virginia going to respond after the emotional win against Virginia Tech last week and on this stage. And offensively, at least, they have taken the ball and moved it down the field against this very good Clemson defense.
3rd and 3. Perkins throws it, a man wide open. It's Dubois. Touchdown. Virginia on the board. And he beats Muse for 20 and the score.
What a great call from Robert and I, anticipating pressure. Brent Venables tried to dial up another exotic, and it came back to bite him.
Here's Brian Delaney. Did miss an extra point last week in the victory over Virginia Tech. He was good there. We're all tied at 7.
All 4 of these guys are going to drop out, and it leaves one-on-one with Muse. Dubois from the slot just runs right by him, and that time Brent Venables outthought himself a little bit. Great execution by Virginia on offense.
7 all. 6:22 left to play here in the first quarter. Sweeney will boot it away. That's Travis Etienne looking to get his hands on the football. It's a touchback. Like I said earlier, it's kind of ho-hum for Clemson. They're here every year. They win it every year. And it's always a brand new opponent for them. Lawrence will take a shot. Wide open is Justin Ross running away from people for the Clemson touchdown. 59 yards for the score. And the Tigers are back on top.
You're going to play off coverage in the slot. Then you got to get a jam or a reroute on both Higgins and Ross. You can't leave a safety like Blunt one-on-one, man-to-man, 10 yards off without a reroute off the line of scrimmage. That's just asking for these guys to run downfield. It's difficult, right? Because you got backups playing in there against two of the best receivers in college football.
Pick your poison. Potter on the extra point. And it's 14-7.
The problem is the secondary. I mean, it's so obvious the lack of speed after those three major injuries.
Which is why you got to help him, right, Todd?
Milledge thought about it for a second, and he'll take a knee. First down and 10 for Perkins. Gonna keep it. Nearly had him for a loss in the backfield, and instead it's a first down. Got by Skowski.
Yeah,
Nearly had him for a loss.
He comes free right in the middle, and Perkins at 6'3", 215 pounds. You underestimate how physical, how big he is. Obviously, he's fast. We know that, but Skowski needs to break down a little bit, wrap up. He's had a great season, though. Dabo Sweeney pointed out that he is a special player. Smart football player, tough.
Here's Perkins throwing and sails it over the head of Dubois. Perkins started letting it hang out after Louisville. After that loss, he went to, of all people, the wide receiver coach, Marcus Higgins. And Higgins was nice. They call him Biscuit. Said, hey, just go out and have some fun. Let the other guys do their jobs. And that sort of put Perkins back at ease. He's been terrific. They haven't lost since.
Yeah, maybe the biggest compliment you can give a quarterback is they make everyone around him better. And that's the definition of Bryce Perkins. That's exactly what he did a week ago in the rivalry game. And you can tell this team, the entire team of Virginia, as Bryce Perkins goes, that's how the team does.
Second down and 10. Quick throw to Cowley, the tight end. From about the 44, Wallace the stop, gain of 6.
I asked Perkins, why was it the wide receiver coach? You know, that's very unusual to hear. And he said that Higgins he's the king of Charlottesville. He's the guy. And he's like, I just trust him, and I have a great relationship with him, and I needed some guidance, and I got exactly what I needed from him.
25th offensive snap coming for Virginia. We're still in the first quarter. Here's Perkins. Oh, had Billy Kemp all alone there for a moment. Got it over Jordan Williams, outstretched arms. Fourth down.
That ball might have been tipped off the edge. I think it's Isaiah. No, it's not Simmons. It's Xavier Bryant right there. Gets a finger on it, but that ball was going outside. That's the second time that Perkins and Kemp have been not on the same page. We saw him roll out, and he came back inside one time. That time, expected him to be outside again. You got to grab that receiver on the sideline and make sure you're on the same page.
4th and 4 from the 44 of Clemson. Punt formation for Virginia. That's Nash Griffin to give it a boot. Darion Kendrick let it bounce. Takes a bit of a Clemson bounce to the 20. That's a 27-yard punt. 14-7 Tigers with the football in the lead.
You know, I think the big thing, the difference in Trevor Lawrence I've noticed this year is the leadership, right? Last year he didn't have these deep-rooted relationships. He was new, he's a true freshman and takes over for Kelly Bryant. But now after an offseason together, the relationships are deeper and he's able to lead from a different standpoint.
Under some pressure there, and he's dropped. Taken down for the sack. Devontae Cross.
bring some pressure. Here's Cross right here. He's just going to come up. Cross is a converted quarterback who was then a safety. They moved him to corner, and now he's playing nickel, his 5th position on defense because of the injury to Brent Nelson, and he gets a big play.
Devontae Cross was Bronco Mendenhall's first recruit to commit at Virginia. Makes the big play there. Juggled and caught. T. Higgins knocked it to himself and then down the sideline. Nick Grant had the coverage. Got a piece of the football, 38 yards. Lawrence to Higgins.
Well, Nick Grant has been beaten already for a touchdown, and he felt like he read it right. He was going for the interception, make a big play. But look at the concentration by T. Higgins. Comes down with that football.
We open up quarter number 2 with Travis Etienne able to stay on his feet. And he's down to the 27. Gain of 13 on first down.
Now this offensive line starting to exert their will up front. You know, they lost some great players in Mitch Hyatt, Justin Falcinelli, but you talk with Jeff Scott, their offensive coordinator, he thinks this offensive line is the best that they've had since they've been here. And it's not because of the individuals, it's because collectively they're working so well together, and it's starting to show.
On first down and 10, Lawrence to throw. In and out of the hands of Justin Ross. There is a flag down.
Ineligible downfield. Offense number 76. That penalties decline. Second down.
That never fails. You're talking about the offensive line.
Yes.
I was about to say it's the best group I've seen in 20 years of studying Clemson. I'm glad you went first, Grease.
It's not Sean Pollard's fault. That's a run-pass option.
Clearly.
He's just doing his job.
Jackson Carman is the only non-senior on that offensive line. He's the sophomore left tackle. Here's Lawrence to throw, knocked away. Matt Gamm able to bat it away. Third down.
Huge third down here for Virginia on the defensive side. If I'm Nick Howell, I'm going to bring a little bit of pressure. Try to get to Trevor Lawrence. You know you can't hold up back there on the back end against these receivers. So maybe you get some pressure on Lawrence.
On the 27 of Virginia on 3rd and 10. Lawrence, there's the pressure up the middle, and Lawrence can't get rid of it. Taken down by Noah Taylor and Nick Grant for the sack. And it pushes him way back to the 35-yard line. 4th down.
Great call from Nick Howell. You've got a great rusher in Noah Taylor. He's going to come off the edge, and then you're going to bring it off the slot. And this offensive line wasn't ready for it. You see the back release is out. If Trevor Lawrence gets that ball to Etienne, he's still running, but you cannot give him enough time. That's what Nick Howell said to us. If he knows the coverage, he's going to cut you apart. You have to confuse him.
This will be a long field goal attempt for B.T. Potter. This is from 47 for B.T. Potter. Snap in the place for good.
Yep.
Right down Broadway. That's like 3 for $1 at the carnival. 3 points. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, Maria Taylor from Charlotte, North Carolina. The ACC Championship Game. Number 3 Clemson, number 23 Virginia. We believe Virginia, win or loss, is headed to the Orange Bowl. Cannot confirm nor deny. And we believe win or loss, Clemson is headed to the playoff.
You see Virginia huddling. Time of possession is so important in this game because of the explosiveness of Clemson's offense. Clemson only has 16 plays of offense. They got 17 points. And they're 2-1 in the time of possession, Virginia.
On the ground. Talapapa. Back to the line of scrimmage. Tyler Davis, the true freshman, in the middle of that Clemson defensive line. Dabo's called him the best interior lineman they've had at such an early age. Back to Grady Jarrett. You know how much, and we know how much Dabo loves Jarrett.
They had a lot of great defensive linemen, so you say he's that good, that's a lot of praise. But Davis certainly has been, for a true freshman at 300 pounds, he's been a rock in the middle of this Clemson defense this year.
Second down and 9. Perkins steps through some people and won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He's forced out with authority, and players come together. Kayvon Wallace had the contact. There's some old school pushing and shoving. Bobby Haskins, the left tackle in the middle of it for Virginia.
I was wondering about Kayvon Wallace and how he would play in this ball game. It's an emotional game for him from Richmond, Virginia. He wasn't recruited by the University of Virginia, and he said he will play the best 60 minutes of the season in this one. No question that there is inspiration and motivation for Kayvon Wallace, and a little bit of an extra push. It wasn't needed on the sideline. Gets a rise out of the Virginia bench.
Perkins got an extra shove in there to the helmet also.
Wallace needs to be careful, right? There's a lot on the line for Clemson, not only in this game, but moving forward as well.
Two teams that have not met since 2013. They'll play next year in Death Valley in the regular season. All sorts of time. Now running out of clock. And Perkins will throw it away. Billy Kemp was in the neighborhood, and Perkins will pick himself up off the new grass. 4th down.
Yeah, great adjustment from Venables, right? He brought some blitzes early in the game and got beat at the corner position. This time, he doesn't bring, plays coverage back here. He's got 2 safeties. Just plays a zone and keeps it in front of him, rushes 4, and there's nowhere to go with the football. And eventually, Simmons gets to the quarterback.
Nash Scriven back to punt. Will be the second punt. Bit of a low snap. Able to get rid of it. Fair catch is called for. It bounces off the Clemson player. And let's see who recovered. Clemson able to come up with the football.
Ball hit Kendrick. Definitely hit Kendrick. Hits him in the face mask and falls right in the lap of Sheridan Jones.
Talk about being in the right position at the right time. Take a seat with the football. And you know Clemson is top ranked in men's soccer team, #1 team in the country. Here's Travis Etienne, able to stay on his feet, running away from people. Very close to midfield. It's a gain of 14. With that win, Virginia qualified for the NCAA tournament. They'll face the winner of Wake Forest UC Santa Barbara next week. Good on the Who's men's soccer team.
You get the sense that Travis Etienne is getting ready to break one.
Why not feed him again? Etienne averages 8.3 yards per carry. That's ridiculous, of course. And 5.4 yards after first contact. Those are the best numbers in the country. And when Dabo says he's the best running back in the country, I understand. But nationally, a lot of people don't seem to talk about him that way.
Not even on the Doak Walker list.
And that's some of Dabo's frustration.
And it's warranted.
Here's Trevor Lawrence. On the run, throwing. See if they call that a catch. They call that a catch. He was very close to the line of scrimmage when he released the football.
Oh my gosh, watch this catch from T. Higgins. I mean, 6'4", reaches all the way out.
That's unbelievable.
Clearly on the
left toe in. They're moving the sticks.
Awesome.
Etienne right up the gut of that Virginia defense. Still on his feet. Touchdown. Travis Etienne making it look easy. 26 yards for the score.
You know, Clemson has a lot of talent at receiver, running back. The tight ends don't get a whole lot of credit. Luke Price here. Watch him seal the end of line of scrimmage. Great vision by Etienne. And a missed tackle by Blunt. You give him a crease, and he's going to finish. There's no question about it. One of the best backs in college football.
Extra point is on the way and good. Scoring drives of 5 plays, 4 plays, and 4 plays for Clemson. Travis Etienne, 7th consecutive game with a rushing touchdown. Ties a career high. Clemson appears to be on their way. 24-7 Clemson. 9 minutes to go in the half. And a touchback.
Think about Bronco Mendenhall. He took over a program that was so far down. In 2016, they lost to Virginia Tech 52-10, and the two programs could not have been farther apart. And in 3-4 years, he's now gotten this program to the ACC Championship.
I have a lot of family in Charlottesville, and they're so proud of these players and what this football team has become compared to what it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Here's Perkins to throw on 1st and 10 again. Has all sorts of time. Deep shot down the middle of the field. And it is knocked away at the last second. Dontavian Wicks was there. Isaiah Simmons had the coverage. 2 players wearing orange breeches back there to knock it away.
Yes, and your eyes are not deceiving you. That is Isaiah Simmons back there, the outside linebacker, defensive rush, defensive end, and also a former safety. Knows how to play in the back end.
So Coach Mendenhall, when he was coming to Virginia, he said on his checklist, he said, I wanted to go to an awful program. That was his word. He said, I want to go to an awful program that is passionate about something besides football, in addition to football. Imagine having that on your checklist. And he has turned things around nicely. That's Dubois. Gain of 2 on the play.
Well, I was down on the field before the game. I had a chance to talk with the president of the University of Virginia, Jim Ryan. And I'll tell you, there could not be more aligned with the value proposition of what Jim Ryan, Carla Williams, the athletic director, and Bronco Mendenhall are building at Virginia. It's really cool to see.
3rd down and 8. Does put everything in perspective. Again, with plenty of time, sailed through the hands of Billy Kemp, incomplete. 4th down.
A missed opportunity there for Virginia. This is the president, Jim Ryan. This summer, he was invited to come work out in the offseason with the team, and he's running wind sprints right alongside. How many presidents do you see do that?
Yeah, we haven't come across too much of that. Hey, we haven't come across a head coach like Bronco Mendenhall either. They're trying to do it and do it differently at Virginia. There's Nash Griffin back to punt. 3rd time tonight. Griffin's running around back there. And only at the very end, very close to the sideline, will he get it away. Kendrick, the fair catch. So after every Cavalier win, Bronco Mendenhall picks a player to have the honor of breaking the rock. And when they beat Virginia Tech for the first time after 15 straight losses, the players had a different idea.
We want you to break the rock.
That's so cool.
Right?
So cool. Emotional for him.
Started 2-10, and he said things were actually worse than he imagined. That was a 2-10 in that first year. Now it is 4th season. Luke Price on the receiving end. I want to say Mendenhall got off to a rough start. Virginia's first game with Bronco as head coach. With all due respect to McShay, they lost to Richmond. Hey, oh, really? Now you're offended.
Well, at the beginning of the year, they said they had 3 goals, right? Beat Tech, break the rock, and then party. And he checked all those off.
With Jay Dixon, the ball carrier for Clemson, hit pretty good after he picked up 4 yards on the play. And it's ZZ Stop, Zane Zandier on the tackle for Virginia. So it's a 3rd and 1.
Is that you?
No, it's not me. I'm not that quick. You know, I couldn't have come up with that myself. Just over 5 to play in the first half.
3rd short here when you lean on the big uglies up front.
In the gut of Dixon.
John Simpson, the left guard, has really stood out to me watching the film this year of Clemson's offensive line. You know, they lost Falcinelli, they lost Mitch Hyatt, and Simpson has really become the bell cow up front. He doesn't just get on people, he moves people out of position and into the defensive backfield. That's something they really haven't had a whole lot of Clemson on the offensive line in past years.
Fake the run, and it's Lawrence to Higgins. His 5th catch. It's a gain of 8 on the play. So 2nd down and short. Simpson is a guy who might see as a nasty disposition on the field, but we're told he never has a bad day. He's one of those guys. 2nd down and 8. Lawrence throwing across his body to Justin Ross. Beats one man cross midfield. And he's into Virginia territory. It's a gain of 20. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds.
Ross is so quick. For a guy his size, it's amazing to see how he moves. Just the ability to break tackles and go make plays with his body control. Amari Rodgers, T. Higgins, Justin Ross, these guys are so special.
Looked like he stepped out of bounds before midfield. They were getting away with it. Well, they snapped the football. Lawrence. And it's Etienne trying to hit him out of the backfield. Just a step too far.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. Etienne out of the backfield on the wheel route against Devontae Cross. That's normally a ball Etienne catches.
Beg your pardon, not a step too far. That's a drop for Travis Etienne. Remember, Etienne had that bad game in their one stumble at North Carolina. The unfortunate part for Etienne was that was going into a bye. So we had to hear Dabo for 2 weeks talk about the one-off game of his career, probably. Here's Lawrence to throw. Zips it in there to DeAndre Overton, his first grab. It's a gain of 19.
So I'm interested to ask Todd, what do you think's comparing this receiving core of Clemson to Alabama?
Oh, man. I'll go Alabama. I think Alabama's a little deeper because of the 4. But this group is so talented, too.
Lawrence will keep it. Take on some people. Got that big 6'6" frame. Contact with Charles Snowden. It's a gain of 9.
I think you're going to see more of that with Trevor Lawrence as this playoff stretch comes. Remember when we watched Deshaun Watson 3 years ago? Yep. He got more and more carries as the games got bigger and bigger. And I think Dabo Sweeney knows, listen, I need to get this guy some reps running the ball so he knows how to read it. He knows how to protect himself. And you're going to see more of him as the year goes on.
66 yards rushing for Lawrence last week in South Carolina was a career high. T. Higgins. And they do mix the run with the pass very nicely. Well-balanced offense for Clemson here tonight, gain of 12.
Well, the scary part is, you know, as I said earlier, it might be the best offensive line Clemson's had in 20 years of studying them. Then you talk about the wide receivers. Then there's Etienne. Oh, no, by the way, the #1 overall pick a year from now at the quarterback position in Lawrence. So where's the weakness on offense?
Clemson gets the ball to start the second half, too. Lawrence back to the end zone, juggled and caught. T. Higgins. Second touchdown. And they'll take another look at it, but for now it's a score and a 30-7 lead by the Tigers.
And Virginia decided to play man-to-man with Heskin Smith, the corner. One-on-one with T. Higgins, and he has good position, good coverage, but you just give T. Higgins a chance, and he's going to make the play. Heskin Smith is only starting his 3rd game of his career, and he's going up against one of the best receivers in college football.
Potter boots it through as we hit halftime. End of the first half for the ACC Championship. 31-7 all Clemson. Now it's time for the Capital One halftime report with Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, and Mark Sanchez. After these messages from your local ABC station. You're watching the ACC Championship on ESPN. as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. Welcome back, everyone, to Charlotte, North Carolina. Third-ranked Clemson Tigers leading the 23rd-ranked Cavaliers of Virginia 31-7. And I would not expect Dabo Sweeney to take his foot off the pedal. He was rather angry Dabo this week. We'll see what happens in the second half with Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. And look, the goal, we talked about getting number one. LSU took care of their business. Yeah. We've seen Clemson in the first half, and now we see Ohio State struggling. The key is to get to one, because 2-3, really, that's not going to matter.
Well, if Ohio State can't come back, right, down 14-0, then they're going to earn themselves a date with this team from Clemson, right? And nobody wants to see that right now. So certainly it is material.
Rankings, leaders 6 matchups in the course of the playoffs. Who's in? Travis Etienne is in with the football from the 6. That first half, Clemson gets the ball to start the second half, and Etienne is hurtling over the kicker, Brian Delaney. On first down and 10, Travis Etienne right where he left off in the first half. It's the long kick return, and then it's 24 yards from scrimmage there. Second and 10. It's Lynn J. Dixon out of the backfield. Nothing doing there. Devontae Cross had a nice first half for Virginia. Makes the stop there. What if I told you that Trevor Lawrence had 8 consecutive games with 3 touchdown passes? I mean, that's quite a streak. And we said on the season they're beating teams by an average of 35 points per game. And after the North Carolina 1-point win, that even went up to an average margin of victory of 42 points. So that falls in line with Lawrence having those big numbers. 3rd and 17. Chance for Virginia to get off the field, and it is dropped. Overton could not hang on.
We talk about the confidence and the maturation of Trevor Lawrence. Watch his calm in the pocket here. There's going to be a free rusher right there, and he just slides, gets his shoulder down, and makes an accurate throw. Overton drops that football, but that is what you see, the growth of Trevor Lawrence, and just being calm in the pocket, knowing exactly where his receivers are and making accurate throws.
So points. I'm so impressed with what he's done this year. You look back to the first few games and the struggles that he had and the interceptions that he threw, and then to bounce back after hearing all that noise and really not to be fazed by it.
Just to follow up on what Todd was saying there about Trevor Lawrence, there was so much expectations on this kid after playing almost perfect football against Notre Dame and Alabama in the playoffs last year. The expectations were way too high, and it wasn't until he started really just the first down hit for Virginia. It wasn't until he said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the expectations after the Louisville game, because he had 3 games of throwing 2 interceptions, and after the Louisville game he said, you know what, I don't care what everybody else thinks. This is about playing well for my teammates, and when he did that, that's when he started to play really good football.
And as you know, Grease, that attitude will help Lawrence at the next level.
There's no question. You're going to get knocked out.
A little adversity, a little chaos, a lot of criticism as an NFL starting quarterback. A jump ball that is won by Hassis Dubois. They talk about 50-50 balls. How about that play by Dubois?
That's an unbelievable play by Dubois. A.J. Terrell is right there in good position, and Dubois has shown up in this ACC Championship. Has a touchdown, and he's made play after play.
9 catches for Dubois. The rest of the team has 7 combined. From the 32 of Clemson. Perkins will throw, and he's in love with Billy Kemp all of a sudden. Right back to Kemp, working on Chad Smith. It's a gain of 6 there. Kendrick's an interesting story. He came as a wide receiver. They needed some bodies on defense, and apparently all the offensive coaches kissed and hugged him goodbye, because they knew after one practice he was not coming back to the offense. And now an important player on that Clemson defense. Here's the pressure. Flushing Perkins out of the pocket. He'll connect with Billy Kemp. That's a gain of 7 on the play.
What does Brent Venables decide to do here on 3rd down and 4? You know, he's been pretty consistent, bringing pressure, bringing some blitz. He brought one there on the last play. If you're going to bring pressure, you got to contain 3 in the pocket.
6th catch of the night for Kemp. Here's 3rd and 4.
There's some confusion on Clemson's defense. Guys looking over. Wallace is looking over. Now they're changing. They're going to play zone. They audible, and Virginia audible.
Perkins, a quick throw inside. Has Jana for the first down, gain of 8 on the play.
See some of the chess game going on between Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, and Bryce Perkins right now. And that time they knew that Venables was going to check into his zone, drop 8, and just very confidently throws a little stick route and convert a first down.
Funny you mentioned chess. Jan is a big-time chess player. Plays Chris Sharp all the time. Got a feeling a lot of chess players on this Virginia squad. First down and goal from the 8. With the pressure in his face, Perkins gets rid of it. It's Jana for the touchdown for Virginia. It's check. It's not checkmate. 31-13.
Exact same blitz that Venables brought earlier in this drive. We leave Tatum Hughes out there. Bryce Perkins missed it early in their drive. Took a sack. This time he didn't miss.
Here's Delaney for the extra point. Boots it through. Clemson hasn't given up 14 points since November 2nd. And that was Wofford. Delaney to kick it away for Virginia. And Etienne is back deep for the Tigers. Kick it out of the end zone. 2 years ago. Lawrence, deep shot down the middle of the field, and T. Higgins. It stayed up in the air forever, and even with 2 Cavalier defenders in his face, Higgins brings it down for 54 yards.
Boy, Nick Grant is he's having a tough night, and he's trying his best. You know, this is just a superior athlete going up in a situation, just a jump ball. Hey, go down there and I'll throw it up to you. And these 50-50 balls throughout college football are 80-20 balls for T. Higgins.
First down and goal. Lawrence, the handoff to Etienne. He gets out of this some way. No, he won't. That's a big loss on the play. Had the big stiff arm on Matt Gam, but it's a loss of 7.
Going back to Higgins, what are you supposed to do? 6'4", 215 pounds. He's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to run probably 4 or 5 in the 40-yard dash, and then every time the ball's up in the air, he's got all those inches on you and the length. He's a special player.
And you wouldn't even call that a good throw.
You don't have to make a great throw.
No, that's the beauty.
Here's Lawrence. That's a good throw. T. Higgins, touchdown Clemson. That took a handful of plays to go all the way down the field after Virginia scores. That is the 3rd touchdown catch of the game for T. Higgins.
I mean, it honestly feels like they're just giving Etienne the ball a couple of times to make sure he's happy, but they can throw the ball every single snap. They can score in 4 or 5 plays every single drive.
Etienne has 6 fourth-quarter carries all season. That just speaks of blowing people out. And wonder who we'll see in the 4th quarter here tonight. How about this, Reese? 4 touchdown drives of 5 plays or less. Who wants to play Clemson in the playoffs? Lawrence, the new ACC Championship Game record for him. He's got 4 touchdown passes. Clemson trying to be the first team to ever win a conference championship game 5 straight years. Nobody's ever done that before. See Trevor Lawrence, 4 touchdown passes. See the All-State playoff predictor. How you feel about that?
What happens if it's like a 21-point game tonight?
They lose by 21?
Yeah.
Well, Wisconsin has 6%. I don't know if you can see that.
I'm not worried about those percentages. I'm trying to have a real conversation.
Oh, you wanted a real conversation.
Gotcha.
Perkins there, but to me,
one of their losses was to Ohio State. The other was a really bad loss, 24-23 to Illinois.
Yeah, Bryce Perkins still down on the field.
Bryce Perkins appeared to be just fine as he jogged off the field while we were away in commercial break. We'll see if he's out for just one play. It's Brennan Armstrong, the redshirt freshman from Shelby, Ohio, in the game. Again, he's been in the game earlier tonight. Two-quarterback package. Armstrong fumbled the football. Able to recover. And that's your one play. And instantly Perkins comes running in.
Well, it's his own read, right? He has to read it and make the decision whether to pull it. And looked like he just wasn't on the same page with Talapapa. Fortunate to get it back. It's been a day for backup quarterbacks, hasn't it?
Yes.
Baylor.
Sometimes you got to go 3 deep if you're Baylor. Clemson defense was not set. Perkins to Billy Kemp for a whole yard.
I'm sure Greasy doesn't know the feeling. But it's not fun coming in frozen cold after standing around all night.
I don't think that has anything to do with holding on to the ball, though, Todd. No, I don't.
Can we talk about Baylor for a second? What a job, what a season.
Yeah, don't let it get lost. The real story is Matt Rule and what he did with that program.
They were a one-win team a couple of years ago. There's the fake. It's Nash Griffin, the punter, able to throw and complete to Hayden Mitchell. All of that on a punt and not going to get there. It's a 2-yard completion.
Great play by Skalski, the linebacker. He wasn't fooled. Number 47 on the outside. He read it, came up, made the play along with Simmons. No chance.
Back in Charlotte, the ACC Championship Game. Clemson enjoying a 38-14 lead over Virginia. Virginia was somewhat concerned that fans would not make this trip because the basketball team was home for North Carolina tomorrow. It's tough to tell. There's a lot of orange in the building tonight. Just can't tell which side's orange. Primary color for both. A whole lot of flea flickering going on. Here's Lawrence to get rid of it. Etienne is tackled. But Clemson says, you got a trick play. We've got one too.
Well, I got you. You know, this game is clearly in control of Clemson, right? The double reverse, flea flicker statement you want to put on this one. You just put Trevor Lawrence in a lot of harm's way right here. Very fortunate that he didn't take a bigger shot than that.
Aaron Falmouy got a piece. Got Etienne, Overton in there on the flea flicker. Now safe underneath. It is Travis Etienne on the receiving end. Etienne, the ball carrier, 14 carries for 114 yards. His 17th career 100-yard game that ties Wayne Gallman for the most in Clemson history. And he's 43 rushing yards away for the most in Clemson history. What a career he has had in Death Valley.
4,000 yards. That's where he's going to end up.
On the ground, that's Dixon. You know, when you play for Clemson, you get all these extra games too, right?
Yeah, they played more games than anybody in college football the last 3 years.
Got to keep playing 15.
Yeah.
And they've been winning them all. That's what Dabo said. We got to go 30-0. And if he's right, they'll have won 2 national championships on their way to win 28 in a row this season. Here's Dixon. Wow, that looked easy. Lynn J. Dixon right through the heart of that Virginia defense. 23 yards for another Clemson touchdown.
You got Travis Etienne with that great career. You don't know if he's going to come back for another one. And you're going to have to find the next guy. Lynn J. Dixon, just a true sophomore. Great blocking up front. And it's hard. Like, if you're Virginia front 7, it's hard, right? You're getting blown up. Hard to stop this offense. And wide open, gaping hole.
Here's Potter. Extra point. 14 consecutive games with 2 or more rushing touchdowns. It's all going on for Clemson. We're back in a minute. Touchback, bring it out to the 25-yard line. You know, they've won 27 in a row, and I was thinking about this. You know, how many teams win 27 in a row in college football? Remember, UCF went through that winning streak. Right. Dabo almost seems like he has to defend his winning streak the way UCF was defending their winning streak. A group of 5 situation as opposed to a power 5. That would be unfair to Dabo and Clemson. Final minute of play here in the third quarter.
I think the big thing is the ACC was down this year, right?
Down last year, too.
Well, last year they played 2 ranked teams in the ACC. NC State was ranked 16th, and Boston College was ranked 17th when they beat them. They played no ranked teams this year. If you go back to 2017 and 2016, they played 3 ranked ACC opponents in each of those seasons. So the fact that they didn't have any ranked opponents in the ACC this year, that NC State was down, right. Florida State,
they can't control that.
Yeah.
That is not Clemson's doing. And everybody has a Wofford on the schedule, right? Some people have 2 and 3 Woffords on the schedule.
They have 2 SEC teams in the non-conference.
I can say this. We've seen all the top teams in the country. LSU's as good as anyone. Ohio State's right up there. I know they're struggling tonight. Clemson is right there.
And that conversation will continue as we head for the fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence and the Tigers. They're about trying to do something about that number 3 next to them. Maybe they can upgrade that a spot. 1936 was the start of the AP poll.
Those are the area of Minnesota, right? Minnesota winning?
As we start quarter number 4. That was before I was born. I know you were around just for that. Perkins completing to Jana as we open up quarter number 4. Gain of 12 on the play.
Greasy has this one. I know he's really
And the answer,
I don't. I said Minnesota.
No, I don't see Minnesota there. Notre Dame, Nebraska, and Alabama. The only 3 times the schools won 3 national championships in 4 years.
Now the one in the middle, that Nebraska one, that was a share, and I'm going to dispute that one.
And how did you know that off the tip of your tongue? That was the shared split national championship with the Brian Greasy's Michigan squad.
That's how we created the BCS after that season. Scott Frost didn't want any of us.
Scott Frost on line 1.
Depends on who you ask.
He did not want any of us.
It's like Perkins might have been grabbing his side there a little bit. In motion. Talapapa running behind Cowley and still running. Pushing the pile.
You know, you might think that after the emotional win last week over Virginia Tech and a long season, a 9-win season, that this Virginia team, now they're getting blown out of this game 45-14, that there would be some letdown. But if you thought that, you don't really know Bronco Mendenhall, and you don't know the culture that he's building at Virginia. This team will play hard, and they will play for 60 minutes, no matter what the score is.
Here's Perkins. He'll just throw that away as there was pressure. There was story there in that 2-win first season under Mendenhall against Oregon. They were down and out of the game, rallied to score 2 late touchdowns, and all the Oregon players were saying, hey, what's with you guys? You guys are getting killed. What's going on here? And that was really the start, the turnaround, and we asked Mendenhall about that. He said that's what he was most proud of that first season.
The most memorable part of that 2-10 season was that moment, and that just tells you what you need to know about what he's trying to build here. And you can't say enough about the toughness of Bryce Perkins. He took a bunch of shots against Virginia Tech a week ago, and he's taking a couple more here in this game.
He was stricken with tonsillitis prior to that game against Virginia Tech. Couldn't speak coming out of the Liberty game. Barely called the plays in the huddle. That'll go incomplete.
After the game, he had to go straight to the hospital, and they kept him overnight, and they drained his tonsils. I said they could not believe that he played in the game. And Brennan Armstrong had to get some snaps. It just shows you, like, the leadership and the toughness of number 3.
And the tonsillitis is nothing when you consider where Perkins has come from.
Right.
And a couple of broken vertebrae in his neck back when he was at Arizona State. Doctor said you can fuse it, or you'll never play football again. The other option is to rehab in 6-7 months and a couple of different neck braces. And that's the option he chose. Incomplete there, and it's 4th down.
No question here. You still see he's holding that chest.
Perkins is coming out.
He took a big hit on that 2nd down play. I think it was Xavier Thomas that came and got him.
They're going to kick. Down 45-14. Here's Brian Delaney setting up for what would be a 35-yard field goal attempt.
He's having a hard time breathing, Perkins is. Because of his ribs. He took a vicious shot.
Yeah, Todd, remember he got hit on the last drive and had to come out. And then the most recent one, I think, was the 2nd down play. He gets hit and goes to the ground. It's been a physical game. This was the play earlier.
Trevor Lawrence last lost a football game in the 2nd round of the playoffs. His year, his high school season. That's 2 years ago. Actually gave the offense and his team a 3-point lead. The defense couldn't hang on. And that's the last time this guy has lost a football game. He said he begged his coach to let him go in on defense and try to protect that 3-point lead. But his winning streak and Clemson's winning streak appears to be in good fashion. Looking to up that to 28. 45-17. Clemson out in front of Virginia. And a new quarterback. Not necessarily a new quarterback. He's new in this game. It's Chase Bryce, redshirt sophomore. Here's Bryce to throw. Down the middle of the field. Say hi to Frank Ladson, the true freshman from Miami. Makes his 9th catch of the season. Beats Nick Grant for 57.
You talk about Sammy Watkins, you talk about Nuke Hopkins, Sammy Watkins, and now Higgins. We got Ross, and now here's the next one. Frank Ladson, Joseph Nada, both true freshmen. That's the next generation of Clemson receiver.
On the ground, Dixon. Back to the line of scrimmage. We're talking about Clemson and odds going forward. For those who think that Clemson belongs in that 3 spot, the 3rd best team, Vegas would disagree with you.
Right.
Our friends at Caesars would have Clemson as a favorite over Ohio State, slight favorite, and a little bit more of a favorite against LSU. What do you think about that?
I think that's going to change after what's happening in Indianapolis tonight. But yeah, you're going to bet against Trevor Lawrence?
No.
I know what he can do in the playoffs. I'm not sure what Justin Fields can do in the playoffs.
That's a great point.
And Joe Burrow's had an unbelievable Heisman front-running year, no question. But he hasn't been in that playoff situation either. And LSU, a first-timer in the playoff.
The only one who has is Trevor Lawrence, who stared down the beast that is Alabama as a true freshman.
One of the best quarterback performances I can remember in college football.
They blew the doors off the Crimson Tide, 44-16.
And remember the first 2 throws of that game?
Yes.
He airmailed both of them and then bounces back in that setting. It was amazing.
Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete. And it'll be 4th down and goal. I asked Dabo yesterday, I said, all right, you're the committee. Where do you rank Clemson? And he said, hey, I just want to be in the top 4. It's like lottery. You got to be in it to win it. Clemson certainly will be in the college football playoff.
That's the selective amnesia that he's talking about in the media, in the national media, forgetting about what this team really is. And everybody's focused on who they've played, but it doesn't change who they are. And I agree with him. And all he's doing is defending his team, and that's his job.
He talked about being dropped down from number 1 to number 5 without losing. on their way to winning big here tonight. And another ACC Championship game, making some history tonight. Again, those schools won 5 consecutive conference championship games. Clemson appears to be on their way. 370 passing yards. That's an ACC Championship game record for these same Tigers. And the beat goes on. Look at the all-ACC football team, as you would expect, dominated by Clemson. The one player Virginia got on the first team was Joe Reed. He's injured tonight and unable to go. Interception. Isaiah Simmons for Clemson. And the defense continues to play big down the stretch for the Tigers. Able to return it 22 yards back the other way.
The difficult thing about Isaiah Simmons is what we talked about earlier. You don't know if he's going to be rushing or he could be dropping. And that time he drops right into the zone where Bryce Perkins never saw him. Here's Haskins right here, the left tackle, and here's Isaiah Simmons. You can see Simmons just dropping, and looked like Perkins tried to fit that ball in past Isaiah Simmons. Not a good idea.
And now Clemson back to the ground game. Darian Rencher, his first carry. He'll pick up 3 on the play. And the Tigers are inside the 5-yard line with 9 minutes to go here in the 4th.
And that's not something that Bronco Mendenhall is going to stand for with Haskins.
Will Sweeney. The last name sounds familiar. There's a relation there indeed. From Chase Bryce. Sweeney, the junior.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Coach going to yell at his kid there? Or not?
I think he's got bigger fish to fry right now.
Maybe later. Will Sweeney, Drew Sweeney, both on the squad.
Look at those pants. Look at those pants at Blunt. Safety. There's not a whole lot of white left.
3rd down and goal now from the 4. Bryce going to keep it. Chase Bryce into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown of the season for Chase Bryce. He had 4 passing touchdowns, and Clemson is piling on now to the tune of 54-17.
That's great to see Trevor Lawrence come out and celebrate with Chase Bryce as he comes off the field.
Extra point. Potter pushes it through. Clemson is seeking their 8th consecutive win by 30 or more points. That would be the longest in the AP poll era, dating back to 1936. And what if I told you the 55 points by Clemson is the new ACC Championship Game record? Where Clemson is having their way with Virginia, 55-17. All I want to know is who's coming out of the Coastal next year.
The kids are recycling.
7th different team Virginia is to come out of the Coastal. Here's Seneca Millers. Up the middle of the field. Won't even get back to the 15. Fumble ball out at the 10. And it is recovered by Perkins.
So, Todd, if it were me, I would have LSU #1.
Yep, I agree.
And then based on whether Ohio State wins or loses, right, I'd have Clemson 2, Ohio State, and then Oklahoma. How about you?
I agree, and I don't like that.
You don't like it, or you don't like the agreeing part?
Are you allergic to that, too, just like the horses?
Just like the horse. I think you have to go with LSU. I really do. I think Ohio State, what's the score now? Is it
21-17 still?
21-17, okay.
I mean, LSU today, that was a dominant performance. I guess, that was not just a...
Right. So we're okay with LSU's defense because today they were actually very good. But prior to today, that had been the knock, right? The big offense for LSU, and the question mark was their defense. Have you seen a complete Complete team out of the
They have gotten better on defense. Dave Aranda is a heck of a football coach. They've gotten better on the defensive side. There's no question. They were starting a true freshman, Derek Stingley, at corner. You know, Delpit is an unbelievable player. And listen, I know that Georgia had a banged up DeAndre Swift. They didn't have Cager. They only had Perkins for a half. But the way that they played today and the complementary football and the way that Joe Burrow is playing, I mean, Joe Burrow's having a season like Trevor Lawrence had a year ago.
Perkins is still in there fighting. He'll make a little shake and bake. They won't get there for the first down. Is this a good time to remind you guys that no #1 seed has actually won the national championship? Is this a good? So we're all fighting over who wants to be #1. And
so this is my opinion, right? I think Clemson, certainly when they have the football, we've seen it tonight. They're going to score points on LSU. When LSU has the ball, I think the converse is going to happen, and it might come down to special teams in this matchup. And if it were me, BT Potter is not as proven, right? I don't think he's as proven. That is one question mark that I continue to have with the Clemson Tigers.
Will Sweeney is back. Well, you fair catch for Clemson. All right, Cassidy, thank you. Clemson back at it on the ground as the clock winds to 5.5 to play. And again, we started the night talking about the importance of #1. You get to play #4. That's probably the smaller part of it. The bigger part is avoiding Clemson. And now you would think Ohio State would certainly have that matchup, Ohio State-Clemson. That'd be a good football game to attend.
Oh my God, yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Either one, yeah. I'm just selfishly hoping that we get to see Clemson against both those teams.
Here's Will Sweeney down the sideline, showing off the wheels. The junior has 30 yards, 30 receiving yards there, and his total.
That's great for Will to get some catches. Came into the game with 9 on the season. He's the primary holder on field goals, and an opportunity for Dabo to really get some of these kids in and get some snaps for these older players.
He's the first son of a head coach to play at Clemson since Jimmy Howard back in 1963.
Someone read his notes this week, huh?
What do you think I do all week, McShay? And at this point, at 55-17, there might be a Herb Street sighting or two. We'll keep an eye on that as well.
And Brent Venables' kid is a linebacker.
Yes.
Jake Venables is a backup, a redshirt freshman, and going to be an outstanding player.
They say football is family. At Clemson, they mean it. There's Chase Bryce. Right back to Will Sweeney. He's the go-to guy now. Took a pretty good shot in the back. That's his 3rd catch of the night. Gives him 12 on the season.
Saying feature me. Look at this hitch route on the outside. Now you know what's going through every one of these guys' minds, right? Who's going to be the guy that's going to score the touchdown?
I mean, players think like that, Grease?
In this situation,
yeah.
Yes, they do.
So they pad some stats. Here's Michael Dukes from the haven't seen him department. Michael Dukes, true freshman from Charleston. That's his 30th rush of the season. Picks up 8 yards on the play. I don't know how close we're getting to the total players, but if you recall earlier in the season, Dabo trotted out 111 different players. 111 players saw the field in their victory against Charlotte. I think we're approaching that. Maybe in the 80s. There's Dukes again for the first down.
My money's on Dukes here to get his touchdown.
All right.
Figure they're up, but they're up big. They don't want to throw the ball. Now, if they run the sprint out like they did to Renfro in the national championship game, if they run the sprint out to Sweeney, there's going to be some issues.
Stop hedging. Out of the shotgun. On the ground, it is Dukes. I don't want you to be right so badly. That'll go for a loss. Greasy's impossible to be around. He's always right. Clemson, 617 total yards. A new ACC Championship Game record. They are rolling downhill.
I don't think this defense doesn't want to keep these. They know this is the backups in. Pride on the line.
First carry of the night for Ches Malusi. We've now seen Malusi, Dixon, Rencher, Dukes, and of course Etienne. Fifth different running back for Clemson to get a carry here tonight. We wind under a minute 40 now.
And every single starter for UVA still out there on defense.
3rd and goal. Here's Malusi down to the goal line. Signal is touchdown on one side. And it is a touchdown for the Tigers. And Clemson has hung a 60 spot on Virginia. 61 points is the most the Tigers have scored against any opponent all season. You got down?
Ball, yeah, take a look from this angle. It's hard to tell.
Extra point. And the Potter family will cheer. 62-17, all Tigers tonight. Seneca Millage off the kickoff. You're right, Grease. This has been you think where Virginia's coming from. This has been a fine season. Intercepted. Picked off by Clemson. And it's Keith McGuire on the interception. With 10 seconds left to play before it's championship trophy time for the Tigers of Clemson. All right, Chris, who's the best team in the country right now in college football?
Gosh, that's hard.
Todd, stand by. Coming to you next year.
Gotcha.
I still... I'm gonna say LSU, but Clemson is right there with them.
Right. Todd, in agreement?
LSU.
Got it. Dabo charges onto the field victorious. They will award an MVP of the game. Greasy turned his back like a schoolgirl in class, so I wouldn't copy his homework assignment. And we have differed on the MVP selection of this game. Down to Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, you made history. 5 straight ACC championships. What does it mean to this program and the team that performed as well?
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. I mean, just you know, got a group of young people that have just fought, and you don't get the chance to win 5 in a row without those previous teams that gave us the opportunity. So I'm thankful for all of our teams to give us this chance, but these guys have been amazing all year, so resilient, and to do something that's never been done. You know, Coach Spurrier, I hope he's watching. Coach Spurrier called me last year and said, yeah, you tied the Gators. You tied the Gators. Well, we broke the Gators tonight, so first time that's ever been done. It's just amazing, a lot of fun, and you know, hopefully this will get us in the Final Four and get us a chance to go compete, keep it playing. But man, how about this guy right here? What a great night by Trevor and all these guys. Super proud of our team, and we're 13-0, 3rd time in the history of our school. So appreciate our crowd. It was an awesome night.
You think you'd be the #1 team in the nation?
No, we don't care. We just want to be in there somewhere. I mean, it don't matter. We just want to have a chance to continue to go, you know, compete and you know, compete to be the best. That's all we want.
Tonight in Charlotte, Clemson earns their 28th consecutive win. And it's also their 8th consecutive victory by 30 or more points. That's the longest such streak dating back to 1936. All Tigers tonight as they blow out Virginia in the ACC Championship. It's Clemson 62, Virginia 17. Clemson are looking to jump up in the final rankings. We'll send you to Cassidy Hubbard in the Ford wrap-up.